But it does bring up Jakob Chychrun, because we've known that the ask for Chychrun has been high. It has been a first round pick. It has been a prospect. It has, maybe even another young player. That's pretty much, granted, protected, but that's pretty much what the Islanders gave up for Bo Horvat, who has no term left, versus someone like Jakob Chychrun, who has term left on his deal at actually a very cap-friendly rate. So if anything, the thing that came up for me with this deal was thinking, like, what Bill Armstrong has been asking for and holding out for, I think it's possible for him to get it.
And you can look at precedent, right? Like look at the Brandon Hagel trade. There were other trades where you're like, wow, look at what they got. When you hear, oh, it's an exorbitant price, when you hear that coming through the mouths of media members, you're hearing the GMs of those teams that are interested in Chychrun but don't want to pay the price. You're hearing them speaking, and they're trying to drive the price down. Just think back to the Darcy Kemper trade, right? I bring this up all the time. I know so many people kept saying they're never going to you don't get a first round pick for a goalie. He got a first round pick for a goalie. And I know the circumstances were right because they had just lost Philip Grubauer, but you just don't know what situation teams are going to be in right at the trade deadline. There may be desperation. There may be teams that have injuries on defense, or they really feel like, hey, I'm getting pressure from ownership to make a move. All of those things come into play, and Bill has shown over and over and over again, he's going to be patient. He's not going to pull the trigger if it's not a deal that he feels moves his team forward.
And I think you've seen it multiple times here. Christian Dvorak, not worth a first. Oliver Ekman-Larsson, you can't unload that contract and get anything good back. We're the first. I think now that you've set with Bo Horvat, does set that price. And now they ask for Jakob Chychrun. And I'll tell you this. There are teams that want Jakob Chychrun to play for them, period. End of story. Yes, they want to play. Whether they can fit him in to their lineup, do they have the assets to give back to make the Coyotes happy? Can they fit him into their system? Can they fit him under the cap? All of those things are true. But there are teams that want Jakob Chychrun to play for them, period. Yep. And they see him fitting in top four, and they can help them win. So I think the bar is getting set. I don't think it's a big ask anymore. And the closer you get to the trade deadline, and the closer that gap gets to in or out or making this a run, I think that price is going to be made. My concern with Chychrun specifically is there are so many moving parts to it. I personally believe this is the summertime draft deal as opposed to a trade deadline this year.
And it could, and that's when the price could change, as we've said on the show already. If somebody comes and says, I'll give you the number 10 overall pick,
because
this prospect for Jakob Chychrun, okay, because now I know where that pick is, and it's a top 10 pick. Yes.
So I just think, and maybe as we've seen over and over, I'm wrong.
I think I'm 50-50. I think like this for me has been a roller coaster, because I was so sure he was going this summer, and then he was part of the team. Yeah. And then I was so sure he's going to get traded. And then, you wrote your story, and it seems like he's having a good time. And we had Bill Armstrong on the show, who literally sat here and said, like, oh, I mean, there's a chance he doesn't get traded. So then I was like, no, he's not getting traded. And then, this trade happened, and I thought, oh, well, it could definitely still happen. So I've just been on a journey for this one. I'm 50-50. Nothing will shock me at this point. And I probably will still get shocked.